Hello, I'm Mike Szostkiewicz, and today is February 9th, 2026. This video is submitted in fulfillment of Park University's MIS605 Management Information Systems course, Unit 5 discussion, which includes chapters 9 and 10 in our text, Information Systems for Business and Beyond by David Bourgeois. So chapter 9 is the people in information systems, and chapter 10 is information systems development. So summarizing chapter 9, this chapter focuses on the people component of information systems and why people are as essential as hardware, software, data, and networks. So the chapter begins with the creators, so systems analysts who translate business needs into technical designs, programmers who assist analysts and who write code, various engineers, including hardware, software, systems engineers, and network engineers who design devices and make components work together. So next, the chapter covers operations and support roles that keeps the systems running. So we have computer operators who manage servers and data centers, database administrators who design and maintain data stores, help desk analysts who provide first-line support, and trainers who teach users how to adopt new systems. So these roles ensure reliability, performance, and user productivity. On the management side, the chapter profiles leadership roles such as the CIO, who aligns IT with strategy, functional managers who lead specialized teams, ERP managers who maintain enterprise systems, project managers who keep initiatives on time and budget, and information security officers who set and enforce security policies. The chapter emphasizes that management skills and business understanding are as often as important as technical expertise. It also highlights emerging roles driven by trends like big data, cloud computing, mobile, and social media, and discusses career paths and the trade-offs between staying technical or moving into management. The chapter examines certifications as one way employers assess skills, while noting that experience can sometimes be a substitute. Organizational structure is explored, centralized versus decentralized IT, maintenance reporting, outsourcing, and networked project teams, and how ERP systems can consolidate data and restore control. So finally, the chapter addresses users and adoption using Rogers adopter categories to guide rollout strategies, and that is to work with innovators and early adopters first, and then leverage them to drive broader acceptance. So the takeaway from chapter 9 here was that technology succeeds only when the right people, the structure, and change management are in place. So we're also looking at chapter 10 this week, which is information systems development. So this chapter explains how ideas for new business functions are transformed into working information systems through processes known as information systems development. It emphasizes that software development involves far more than just programming. It requires structured methods, tools, and strategic decision-making to ensure systems align with organizational goals. The chapter begins by introducing programming, which is the act of writing logical instructions that computers can execute. While some programs are small and simple, most business systems require collaboration among analysts, designers, programmers, and users. To maintain this complexity, organizations rely on formal development methodologies. Well, that should sound familiar. The Systems Development Lifecycle, or SDLC, that's a structured step-by-step approach designed for large, high-risk projects. So this ties in directly with our course project that each week we are writing about the phases of the SDLC. So the SDLC moves from feasibility analysis and requirements gathering through design, programming, testing, implementation, maintenance, and support. While reliable, SDLC is often criticized for being rigid and slow. So to address these limitations, the chapter presents more flexible approaches. The first we see is rapid application development, and that emphasizes user involvement and iterative prototyping, making it well suited for smaller projects that need quick results. Agile methodologies build software in short time frames using small cross-functional teams, allowing for continuous feedback and improvement. The lean methodology focuses on developing a minimum viable product and using real-world feedback to refine or even pivot the system's direction. This chapter 10, also reviews programming languages, development tools, and the trade-offs between time, cost, and quality. It discusses strategic choices such as build versus buy, the use of web services, and end-user computing. So in conclusion, Chapter 10, successful information systems development requires balancing structure and flexibility while aligning technology, people, and processes to support business objectives. So for this week's current event article, I selected an article that relates to Chapter 9 by describing the different roles of people within the management information systems. So this week specifically, I chose the CIO, or the Chief Information Officer. So the article I chose, I'll post it in the comments. It was authored by Mary K. Pratt and was published last week on January 28th, 2026 on the Information Week website, entitled "The Stakes Rise for the CIO Role in 2026." So this article argues that the CIO role is expanding from back-office technology custodian to a strategic business integrator accountable for measurable outcomes such as trusted data, controlled spend, managed risk, and AI enablement. So what's changing? So CIOs are increasingly asked to lead cross-functional initiatives, move AI efforts from pilots to scaled execution, and to build governance and guardrails that let business teams move fast without increasing the risk. So these shifts make the role more strategic, but also more complex. So the key pressures, the article highlights three major exacerbations making the job harder in 2026. Rapidly changing corporate strategies, complex vendor and ecosystem management, and workforce readiness for AI, all while CIOs remain accountable for outcomes that they may not fully own. Cost control, data quality, and AI governance are singled out as acute challenges. So the article goes on to describe what's easing. So routine, quote, run-of-the-mill tasks are becoming more commoditized thanks to software as a service, or SaaS, cloud, automation, and outsourcing, which frees CIOs to focus on strategy, experience, and innovation, provided they delegate low differentiation work and establish clear decision rights. So the practical implication of this is that CIOs must balance speed and control by setting enterprise guardrails for data, security, and governance, defining shared KPIs and decision rights with business partners, and prioritizing AI initiatives that can demonstrably deliver a return on investment. So in conclusion, for this week's discussion, so Chapter 9, the People and Information Systems, explore the critical role that people play in development, design, operation, and the use of information systems. It outlines various roles for systems analysts and programmers who build systems, to database administrators, help desk support, and information system managers like the CIO, and discusses how these roles interact to support organizational goals. Now, this chapter also explains how the IT function is organized within firms, the importance of effective communication between specialists and end users, and how the rapid evolution of technology continues to change job roles and career paths in information systems. While Chapter 10, Information Systems Development, focuses on how information systems are created and implemented. It introduces programming as the foundation of software creation, and then reviews major development methodologies such as the Systems Development Lifecycle, or SDLC, Rapid Application Development, or RAD, Agile, and Lean, each with different approaches to planning, building, and refining systems. The chapter also covers practical considerations like the build versus buy decision, the use of web services, end-user computing, and the various strategies for deploying new systems within an organization. Thanks for watching.